And now we are recording, and I'm so
Great.
excited to be here with Leigh-Ann and some of our guests for this morning's Ask Me Another for the Rise Above the Noise Facebook group. And before I get into what is going to be an amazing conversation, Leigh-Ann has already sent me like kind of a sneak peek what she's going to talk about today. You guys are going to love it. But because I am who I am and I need to give you guys some information. I thought that what I would share today is some work that I'm doing. Many of you have Facebook business pages, and it's no secret that Facebook business pages are a challenge. People want a lot of followers, they want a lot of engagement. It's not easy. Facebook is really suppressing business pages, and so it's really difficult, although it's still so valuable for so many reasons to keep your Facebook business page up. So the main thing to know is that at this point, it could be better if it's within your wheelhouse to create some kind of a group. So I created the Rise Above the Noise Facebook group, which many of you know, and I invite people to join. And I wanted to share this really cool thing about the Rise Above, about any Facebook group that could be helpful to you. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. You guys see my Rise Above the Noise?
Yes.
Now, do you still see it even though I just moved it?
Nope.
Okay. How about now?
Yep.
It's hard to tell what you guys see. All right, so here's my group. So if you had a group, and I know, Leigh-Ann, you just started a wonderful group too, the Elevators.
Yes.
And I love that, by the way. So I hope we'll talk
Thank you.
about that too. So Rise Above the Noise, authentic action, genuine connection, attract clients. So my goal here, as you guys know, is to, just kind of build community, learn about digital marketing, getting present and being in front of people so that they can see your light and they can be attracted to your light and you can serve more people. Here's the tech. So that was my feel good part. Here's my technical part that I want to share that I love. Groups has this option way over here on the left sidebar called units. And I've been loving using the units. So for instance, if you just go down my feed, there's Leigh-Ann, and I have different posts. But what I've been doing is going through every couple of days, putting an excerpt of the book of the month into my feed. And so you might, if you're a group member, you may see this, you might not see this. But what you don't want to go say is, oh, she says this is number 3 or this is number 13 or whatever. I wonder what 12 is. You don't want to sit there scrolling through. And so I've put everything into this awesome thing that Facebook groups allows you to do, which is units, where you can set up categories. And so I happen to be using units for all of the books that I've done. So each book that we've reviewed on or taken excerpts out of on Rise Above the Noise has its own unit. So the Referral of a Lifetime was a couple of months ago. And if you click on that, I've put all of the posts in order so you can really start at the beginning. And you can probably, it's not exactly reading the book, but you're reading the excerpts, in 10, 15 minutes, and everything's really all lined up for you there. I happen to do it with books. I think I have one on email marketing, but if you're running a Facebook group, think about what categories people might be looking within your group if you're offering learning opportunities or categories that would be helpful to your group. So that is my social media tip of the day. Now I have to look for the thing that says stop share. There we go. Now I'm back.
There
right?
it is. You are back.
I'm back. All right. So now what I'd like to do is introduce our amazing speaker today, Leigh-Ann Larson. Leigh-Ann and I met years ago at the Women's Business Network. And then we did like a business group coaching thing, which I thought was pretty interesting. And Jody, you were in that as well. And that was super helpful. And hold on, because I have the wrong person here. I apologize. You guys, my computer has been so glitchy. So here's the official short bio for Leigh-Ann. Leigh-Ann is the founder and CEO of Elevate Counseling Services. Leigh-Ann had a vision to create a full-service counseling private group practice that would provide counseling services to the entire family, no matter what age or what difficulty the client was facing. In under 3 years, Leigh-Ann has accomplished that goal with 23 therapists and 3 locations and an administrative team. Amazing.
Yes.
Her company is helping over 625 individuals and families, and I'm in awe of what you've done. Leigh-Ann says her superpower is solution-focused living that manifests the best of all that is possible, and that's exactly what she's going to be talking about today. And so, I would like to turn the video on to you, Leigh-Ann, and I can't wait to learn more.
Great. Thank you so much, Susan. Thank you for all of your work that you do, your heart as a connector, your encourager as an entrepreneur and a woman. I have found your leadership role invaluable in my work that I'm doing. So thank you so much. And thank you for this opportunity. It's true. What Susan says is about Elevate Counseling is all true. But I'm going to be honest, that is not why I'm a great manifester. And that's the result of the manifesting, but that's not how I got there. And I really think it's important for you to understand this about me and how the heck I got here in the first place. Very briefly, I am an adoptee. I was an infant when I was adopted into a home that unfortunately earned me a diagnosis of PTSD. And I want to keep that real and open and honest for you. I personally did double-digit years of my own counseling work to get me to a place where I could build the life of my dreams and the life that I wanted. And really what gave me my heart and my passion and my desire to help other people. So what I'm going to share with you today, literally, I did. I do. I will continue to do until my very last breath, because I have seen what it's like at the bottom of the pit. I was handed a life that I did not want, and I was able to rebuild, right? And so here we are. We're going to manifest today, and I'm going to help you manifest your best in whatever area of your life, whether it's personal, health, career, all of the above. It doesn't matter. You can co-create and build the life that you want. So step 1 is making a list of all of the things that you love about your life, the people, the places, the things, your strengths, your talents, your interests, everything that you love about your life. Put it down, write it down. Some people might feel like they're doing a gratitude list. Sure, we have gratitude for the things that we love about our lives. So absolutely, if that helps you frame it and give you a context, then call it a gratitude list. If you are a little overwhelmed, I like to think about our lives as human beings as sort of having 4 bodies. So we have the physical body. So you can think about the home you live in, perhaps your commute to work, your lifestyle in terms of diet and exercise and all the physical concrete things in your life that you love. You can write it down under physical. And then emotional, which is expressed through our relationships, through other people. So you love that spouse, write it down. You love those kids, write it down. You love your coworkers, your neighbors, your friends, your tribe, write it down. And then there's our mental body, our thought life, right? If you love to write, if you love to create music, if you enjoy cooking, and if you enjoy synthesizing new information, which is sort of my jam, right? Whatever you love to do, using your noggin, using your brain, your experience, write it down. And then there's your spiritual body, which, you know, people might think about religion or spiritual beliefs or practices. Sure, that's one aspect of your spiritual body. But also, I like to think about flow state. Positive psychology says that when we are engaged in flow state activities, we are really enjoying our lives. So those things that just help you feel like time is just flying by and you're having a great time, and this is really what I love about life, what I love to do, that's under spiritual experience as well. So flow state activities, spiritual beliefs and practices, absolutely. So that's another way. So you might think of it as a gratitude list. You might think of it as PEMS, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. Write it all down. Everything that you love about your life, because that's your foundation that you're going to build up. We're going to keep all that. We're going to grow all that. We're going to bring more of that into our lives. And so that's M for manifest. Make a list. A is about accepting your authentic self.
Amen to that.
Yeah. So really, we have to look at that list, love that list, go, this is my brilliance, and I love this about me. Now, you might find out that there's some things that didn't make the list. That might make you a little nervous, right? When you realize, wow, maybe my job isn't actually my jam. Maybe, you know, some of these friends who, like, I thought were going to be on the list sort of drain me and wear me out. And maybe I don't want to energize those relationships as much as I want to. It's super important that you operate right now in internal locus of control. We don't want to worry about what other people are going to think. How is this going to affect other people? What are they going to think about me? No, this is your life. It's your one life that you get, right? As your name in this moment in time. This is it. And this is what you're building from. You need to have that internal locus and just say, you know what? I'm going to live my best life and I'm going to be my best self. And so whatever I bring into the world, whoever I bring into the world with me on this journey, they're going to get the best of me. Right? And so in the end, everybody wins. Self-honesty is crucial to accept and love your authentic self. Now, sometimes people get caught up in this thing called codependency. Codependency means I'm okay if you're okay, but I'm not okay if you're not okay. And I'm telling you right now, if you start manifesting, there's some people in your life that are not going to be okay. And you're like, what's going on? She's changing. She's doing this. She's doing that. Oh my goodness. She's having a midlife crisis. I'm sure some people have said that about me. Okay, I probably am. So, but the truth is, codependency can keep us stuck in relationships, in jobs, in neighborhoods, in any number of things that don't resonate with us anymore. So, Melody Beatty is my very, very, very favorite author around working through codependency. She's written Codependent No More, Beyond Codependency, right? The Language of Letting Go. She's got stuff online. She's got some great books. Thrift Books is an awesome place to pick up gently used books for short money. I buy stuff all the time and give it away to clients. She's one of my favorite authors. And working through codependency, right? If you're afraid of making some changes and really manifesting what you want to work on that, right? We're kind of doing some digging here as we manifest. So we've made that list. We're working on accepting our authentic self. And now we get to N, which is fun stuff. It's networking with others in order to normalize your process and have some new adventures, right? Because really what we're doing is we're saying, okay, I want more of this. This is where I'm going. I've identified, like, this is who I am and this is what I want. We need to go out into the world and bring some new energy in, some new information in. We need to go be authentic, our authentic selves out in the world, right? And so if you want to write a book, go find a book club, a writer's club, right? If a writer's group, if you want to open a business, go to a business networking group, right? Women's business networking was amazing and so helpful to me and normalized and really moved me along. Podcasts are a wonderful thing. I literally listened to one podcast on Harrow and I got 2 full feature articles within a week. So honestly, you want to grab information, you want to talk to people, and you want to just expand and have some new adventures because you are consciously co-creating your life and you are building, and it takes work, right? As human too, we are social. We do better when we are with people and we do not do it alone. Even introverts, right? Introverts need people too. They just need to make sure they can refuel and get that downtime, right? Because unfortunately people can drain, right? And you want to build up, but everybody needs some social connections, right? To enjoy life, to build and grow and evolve. Just remember that when you're in the wrong relationships, that's not helpful. And it's better to be in no relationships as you rebuild. You know, my husband and I have had a couple of different journeys in life when we've had changes of lifestyle where we literally had to be like, oh, we really need to find a new tribe right now. Because as we grew and changed and evolved as individuals and as a couple, we realized that we were in communities that were stagnant and they were not allowing us to be our authentic selves and fully engage in life, right? So sometimes these things happen. Okay, so we're manifesting, we're networking, we're meeting people, and guess what happens? We get ignited. And this is ignition, right? We are engaged and we're excited and we're meeting people and there's new hope for the future and we're having fun and there's new energy and synchronicity and all sorts of cool things are happening. Taking a sip of water here because it's so exciting.
This is so good. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Right? That's what happens, right? This is the pattern. This is the momentum. This is the flow. And what happens? So we've got all this hope and this future and this passion and fun stuff, and we're meeting people and things are happening and we're manifesting and it feels great. But F. It's kind of funny that we landed on F because we need to make sure we stay focused, that we follow up and we follow through and we stay in flow states, because manifesting does not happen in a vacuum of warm fuzzies. And manifesting does not happen and the angels get their wings and the bells ring, right? Every single time. It's hard work. And sometimes we're tired and we're overwhelmed. And sometimes focus just means one foot in front of the other. And it means persevering through some really hard stuff, some mistakes that we make, which, you know, I like to use the word wisdom here. We have to make mistakes to get some wisdom, but then also we can also look at other people, and when we network and we meet people and we ask questions, they can say, hey, like, yeah, this is a mistake I made. How about you skip it and just don't do that, right? As a matter of fact, when I started Elevate, I went to clinicians that owned groups and I said, hey, can I give you some money and we have a conversation? I literally said that. One I had known from a previous group that we worked at together, and another person was a perfect stranger. And both of them were willing to sit with me, and I asked questions about what mistakes did you make that I can avoid. And it was really quite helpful. And in truth, my business model doesn't look like either one of those practices, because I took in what I heard from the external, and then I churned that on my internal locus and decided what I wanted and what kind of culture I wanted and how I wanted Elevate to look in the world, right? But I definitely gained a lot of wisdom from the mistakes. in that particular area. And then I've made my own. Yay me, right? So focus one foot in front of the other. And then there's follow through. And today's a great example for me. I've never actually done a Zoom podcasty kind of thing before. And I was like, oh, Susan, I made it. I was so excited, right? I don't know, fake it till you make it. Well, hit the button and see what happens. And right when I first started Elevate, probably for the first year, every time I got a letter from the IRS, oh, I had this pit in the bottom of my stomach. Oh my gosh, I'm going to owe a ton of money. Something happened. I did something wrong. The house is on fire. It never was. No, it never was. I didn't know, but I would open that envelope, maybe behind closed doors, so no one would see me freaking out. I was fine. I was fine. The company's fine. They always just send you stuff. I don't know why. It's a waste of money. So seriously, but I faked it. I was like, okay, well, we're going to do this thing and we're going to like talk to the IRS now, I guess, right? Because that's part of being a business owner. Fake it till you make it. Now I get their mail. I'm like, great, it's not a bill. Let's see what they want to say, right? Totally different thing now. Okay, let's see. So let's talk about the flow states, which is really amazing because really, this is the fun part of manifesting and part of the focus and part of the one foot in front of the other. Following the flow means that when changes do start happening, you go with it. When you make new friends and you engage in new relationships based on your business or your new fitness schedule or whatever it is that you end up deciding you need to do some manifesting in, you don't dig your heels in and say, no, it's too soon. I'm not ready. I wasn't like thinking it was going to be this awesome or this big or this great or so soon or whatever it is. You just have to say, okay, have you ever been tubing? You just kind of hold on and go, all right, here we go, right? Something like that. Flow states are fun because they just sort of happen. My husband and I had just gone to Myrtle Beach right after Thanksgiving. Oh, this is sort of fun too, talking about manifesting. I actually had a fibromyalgia diagnosis from the age of 30 and then found out a year ago that I actually had an autoimmune illness probably for like 12 years that went untreated. And recently found out that I have osteoarthritis. Good times, old age and all that. And I say this to you to give you more evidence that through that all, we still live our lives and we can live our best lives, right? And nothing external has to hold us back and has to prevent us. So anyways, we went to Myrtle Beach and boy, did I need it because I really was having some health pain, really struggling. I had been working a lot and just needed to take a reprieve. So we go to Myrtle Beach. I had 5 full days, which was amazing. The weather was gorgeous and the place we stayed was fabulous. And I just struggled for the first couple of days, just processing and downloading and letting go of a lot of baggage or struggle, or I don't even know what it was that I was carrying. But I got into this really great space by the time we got back. As a matter of fact, tears were streaming down my face. I was like, yeah, I don't want to go. This is too beautiful. This is too wonderful. I just want to stare at the ocean for another week, right? So I come home and I came home to find out that I had gotten 2 full feature articles that I wasn't even trying for. I was just trying to get quoted, right? In Thrive Global and in Authority magazine, 2 BuzzFeed roundtables. I'm going to be doing a podcast for Huffington Post. I kid you not. So I want you to think about this. I am in South Carolina going, woe's me! I'm so stressed out. I'm in so much pain. It took me about 5 days to come off the ledge. I came off the ledge. It was great. Wonderful. It was beautiful. And I really had a wonderful time. And I was sort of over dramatizing. But I want you to see that while this was going on, flow was happening, right? Life was happening. And I remember sitting out at the ocean. I was on the ocean at 2 a.m., just sitting there taking it in. The moon was beautiful. And I was just sort of like, right, sitting in the flow. And that was happening and I didn't know that was happening. So I want you to think about that, right? So like while I'm having my experience, stuff is manifesting, stuff is percolating, stuff is happening. That's how manifesting works. We don't even know what's coming. Once we set that intention, once we set the stage, once we understand who we are, what our strengths are, what we want more of, and what we're going for, things just have a way of happening, right? Go with that flow. That is a very, very important part of manifesting, okay? So here we are on E, where we are going to explore and expedite goals. Yeah, I said it. We have to set goals. We absolutely do. We need a roadmap. We need some sort of direction. We can't be all like willy-nilly about things. Sure, we need to go out there, meet people, talk to people, find out what our options are, get some education around whatever particular issue thing it is that we want to manifest. But then we need to take all of this information and kind of funnel down into, what am I building here? What do I want? What am I bringing into my world, right? So this is where I like the mission statement. And this is where I like the idea of creating a vision. Vision boarding is fabulous. For years, did you guys ever do this where you'd actually create a vision board like around New Year's? Like, this is what I want to call into my life this year. And it was always amazing to me how much actually ended up coming into my life, right? A lot of fun.
It is fun. In fact, I think Rachel, I don't know if Rachel's still on the call. She has her picture off, but Rachel runs vision boarding workshops.
Oh, look at that. So we even have someone in the network that can help us do that. Yeah, it's a wonderful thing to do. So that the mission and the vision also, especially around business, but even in your life and the choices that you make, really helps keep you on track and keeps you moving in the direction that you want to go. I have a lead team once a month, a meeting with my associate director, my billing manager, my clinical and site supervisors. And I'm asking questions in that meeting and saying, hey, what do you got? What are some new ideas? What suggestions do you have to make? And we always check it in the top of our agenda. The mission statement is always there. We always check it against the mission, right? Does this elevate our clients or our colleagues or behavioral health practices to the highest standard of practice and care? And if the answer is yes, we move forward and we discuss it. That mission will never steer us wrong. And so you want to create a mission statement that maybe is going to stick, right? That you don't have to change up a lot. That sort of can stand the test of time. And there's plenty of books and information out there about creating mission and vision statements for your life. And I think that's an important thing to do. But when it comes into goals, specific goals, you have to break them into manageable pieces, right? What do I need to do today? What do I need to do this week? What's a priority for the month? What's a priority for the quarter, right? And you have to have a way to organize those goals, some kind of structure. I actually use a planner pad. It's a specific brand that gives me 3 sections, sort of like the funnel, right? The big ideas at the top, in the middle, what am I going to get done for the day? And then you break down the day specific hours, which really helps because I do a lot of counseling still, right? And I schedule appointments on the hour. So you need a system and you need to have some kind of organization around how you're going to build and manifest the life that you want. You can't get around this one. I know it's a little tricky for some of the abstract thinkers in the world. I am personally a visionary myself, so I know it takes a little bit of work to make sure that you stay on task and that you have a system in place to help you follow through, take those steps, but it really needs to happen or you're going to manifest a whole lot of nothing. To be honest, it might be even a little bit of a mess sometimes. Okay, you may want to have an accountability partner.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad idea. Now, Susan, you're doing a program where you can actually have a virtual board of directors.
That's correct. It's
right?
really powerful. It's amazing. And I'm in two of my own in different areas, and I don't know what I would do without accountability buddies and people to bounce ideas off of. Yes.
Yeah, super important, right? And that's an aspect of the networking, but it's also an aspect of setting those goals and your benchmarks and making sure that things are getting accomplished, productive things. Okay, I think we can move on to S. Manifest. We're getting there. Seize opportunities to go into the silence and connect with source. Now, I do not want to define source here because that is a whole conversation unto itself. But think about how you connect with that still small voice inside of you. Think about ways that you really just enjoy being mellow and quiet and receiving information. There's a wonderful TED Talk out there on allowing yourself to get bored. And I can't think of the name of that person, but if you put in TED Talks boredom, she'll come up. And it talks about how when we're bored, we actually are allowing our minds to do some of that deep thinking, right? When we get rid of the external noise of the world, the chatter and the music and the whatnot, and we just really get still and we don't have anything to distract ourselves, that's when we actually start going in deep and really kind of cultivating the ideas about what we actually want to manifest or the directions that we want to go in. And it can be quite rewarding. In my counseling work, I like to call it emotional scuba diving. I do emotional scuba diving with clients all day. It's so much fun. Going in, what's in there? What's going on? What can we bring out into the world that's going to help you move forward out of the problem into the solution, right? And I guess that that's an important thing to understand about the work that I do too, and from where I'm coming from. I'm a strength-based, solution-focused woman, right? So that means as a wife, as a mom, as a friend, as a counselor, as the way I see the world, there are problems everywhere. They abound. But along with every problem, there's probably like a half a dozen solutions. So we're always looking for the solutions to whatever roadblock is in front of us. And there is always one. Have you ever gone down the road where there was road work being done and there wasn't a detour? Right? Yeah. So super important to go into the silence and connect. It's that place inside of you that inspires you to tune in and listen for that big picture, right? It's what I was doing, sitting, looking at the Atlantic at 2 a.m. in the silence, casting a vision for the future and really taking in what was important and what was going to help me get re-energized and reignited and passionate about the next steps. Okay, so let's see. I believe that we are on T, which is about time. You ready for this one? Time is an illusion. Think about it. Do you have a loved one that's passed? My mom's been gone for 18 years and my father-in-law has been gone for 19 years. And I'm like, what? That was like last fall, right? It seems like what, last winter. And at the same time, it seems like 100 years ago. Time is an illusion, right? On the other hand, we are working within a certain time frame, aren't we? We only get 24 hours in a day. We only get 7 days in a week. We only get however many days in a month, in a year. So we do have to be held accountable to time at the same time, right? So it's an illusion. It's not real. Things are going to happen like that. And you're going to be like, how the heck did that happen? And on the other hand, you're going to be like, I got to get this done and I got to get that done. And I get that. And I only have this much time to do it. And how am I going to do it? Right? So time is tricky. It's one of those things that kind of can play games. You have to utilize the literal clock, the calendar, the appointment book wisely. You really do. But you also have to, in the back of your mind, realize, listen, someday, right, less than 3 years later, you're going to look back and you're going to go, what? 25 employees in 3 locations? Are you kidding me? And people want me to talk about this stuff? They're interested in hearing what I have to say, and I have things to bring into the world in less than 3 years. Like, yeah, they were like 60, 70-hour work weeks for the first couple of years, right? But now it's like, how did that happen? So time is both of those things. But I'll tell you what time is not. Time is never too late. You are never too old. You are never too young. It is never too soon. You are never too late. Time is your friend. It is not your enemy.
Love that, Leigh-Ann. Love that.
It's true. And so we just live and we breathe and we be and we manifest all of the things in our lives that are good and beautiful and true. And we let go of those things that kind of rob our joy, steal our life, make us feel drained, right? Don't allow us to be our brilliant selves that each and every one of us really are. We're all worthy. We all have a lot to bring to the table, to this life. We all have gifts to share with others. But first, you start with gifting yourself with your best life, no matter what people think about that. And you won't be disappointed.
There's so much to everything that you said. I feel like all of those things we could have done a whole separate
Sure.
talk. Each one was so deep and so thick. And I'm going to have to go back and listen to this again and take notes and really eat them up. So my favorite part, and it's also because I just came back from that mindset retreat that I was talking to you about with Fabian Fredrickson and Boldheart, and they call it the Vortex. And that part, and I just listened to a podcast with Amy Porterfield talking about a program she did, and she called it was a little different for her, but it was basically so the gratitude part, and you bring that best part of yourself, and that adds energy to the vortex, particularly when you're with other people, right? And then if you can be in a group, a consistent group of people, so to the Women's Business Network or the She Breathes community, or these accountability groups that I'm in and that I run, when you bring that positive energy in, and it's not all right, it's not all everything's wonderful, everything's great, like here's the good stuff, but here's where my challenge is. Can I count on you, Women's Business Network, She Breathes, accountability group, think tank? Can I count on you to help keep me in the vortex by giving me a solution to this, or leading me to know what my solution is? They can't maybe answer it, but they can help you figure it out.
Right.
That part of it all to me has been magical. I have other stories I'll tell you guys offline of what happened after this retreat. And I stood at one point and I was in the supermarket with my daughter. I'm like, wait, they told me this was going to happen. Like I didn't. To your point, manifesting happens when you set your intentions. You realize all of your gratitude for whatever it is, but the intention, it happens anyway, because you've said it out loud to somebody, you've written it down, whatever it is. It's crazy how that happens. From a business point of view, because this is what I do in helping people with their digital marketing part of it, it's bringing them back away from the overwhelm of I got to do this and I've got to do that. And oh my God, I should. And the shoulds just hold them down instead of saying, I want to, I get to share this because I love this. I'm passionate about this. I'm good at this. I can help people with this. And so this is where when I work with people, it feels comfortable to them and to say, oh, I don't have to do this. Well, there are some things you have to do. Otherwise, you're not going to have a business. But do it with that gratitude and do it with that sense of, I get to do this for other people.
Yes. Oh, well, the servant leader, which I didn't talk about, is really my role, right? So I'm serving wherever I go, right? Whether it's my family or at Elevate with my staff, you know, they're not here for me. I am here for them. And that's the bottom line, because as soon as I think that someone is serving me, right, my little princess crown comes out and my expectations will be waved around like a banner. And that is no good. That is no good for me. And I don't believe it's good for anybody. If we're all serving each other, right, then we're building communities of people of encouragers, right? Just like my elevators, the natural born encouragers in the world. And so I think servant leading is really the best approach to take.
Awesome. Awesome. So as we're kind of wrapping up here, I want to give people an opportunity to reach out to you if they have questions or they want to learn more. What kind of that? What is
So I recommend my email, which is Leigh, LEIGH -ANN, Leighann, at elevate-counseling.com. Or you can go to our website, elevate-counseling.com, and send an email that way. I am going to be sending content to people. Anyone who is interested, shoot me an email or a message. I'm going to be creating a blog series on what we just talked about, manifest, but also I'm going to add the ING. So if you want the ING early, feel free to send me an email. Let me know that you want to get on the mailing list for this particular series, and I will send you the content in its entirety before it even goes up on the blog. Now we do have a blog. It's www.elevate- elevateyou.blog, elevateyou.blog. Yes. A lot of the content is written by myself, but I also have guest bloggers, including Kim Hollister, who is one of my clinicians here. So feel free to peruse that. We have a lot of great blogs on healing and self-love and recovery from substance abuse, grief and loss, lots of really important things. All strength-based, all solution-focused.
Strength-based, solution-focused.
That's what you get at Elevate. You're not going to find anyone here who isn't looking for solutions.
Gotcha.
We're all really here to help people find solutions for their problems.
Leigh-Ann, thank you so much. I've loved this.
Thank you for having me.
Sign up for your email because I want all the blogs and the ing.
And the ing.
And the ING.
Oh, good.
Thank you so much, Leigh-Ann. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. All right, be well. Bye.